All right, we're back. Another season. Pro football show. Chevy Silverado. Chicago. Couldn't be more excited to be back.
Yeah, Will, how are you feeling?
Boys, girl, this season is going to be awesome. But who is this jabroni?
That's the mystery guest. Different host every single week.
I love that idea. Let's go!
Welcome to the Pro Football Show presented by the Chevy Silverado. We are back, and I'm going to be honest, we had to start the show multiple times because Taylor was talking over the intro, which is fine, but you said you helped the show, so welcome back.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Dan said that you weren't welcome back because you always fuck up the intro.
No, I said,
No.
he said he thought he'd be back sooner. I said, I'm happy he's back because I am happy
Yes.
he's back. Taylor's a friend and he was great on the
He's
show
great.
week one. The reason why we didn't invite him back so much quicker is because he can't follow cues.
Couple of cues, how?
You just talked over the intro like 4 times.
Yeah, but we've also said we're going to
know
start
how
the show.
much-
We're going to start the show. No one in the back said hey, we're starting the show.
I look at the budget after every single show they print it out for me, and that probably costs us like $50,000 in editing.
Well, if you guys are looking at sheets and budgets, you guys should probably look at this because according to this, the sheet says I was 8-7.
you
Week
think
one,
it
and I
make
was
it
actually
smaller?
10-5. That's ridiculous. I literally look at this.
This is the smallest fucking records I've ever seen.
Look at all
be
these. There's
fair,
so
Tom-
much more
Hey,
page
if we're doing a
two.
correction, mine is actually 11-5.
To be,
You
Tom,
and Kansas City Chiefs on the Thursday night.
Yeah, but I
game.
did different show, different time, different bet. Like right
I'm
now,
happy you're
talking
back
to
though
these
because
people.
that was one of my best weeks. That was my best week.
I'm saying, here's the deal. I came in here week one, and according to this sheet, which, I already showed can't be trusted, I've had the best record of every guest.
Well, the only
on the show.
person on the show is above 500 is me. So let's just
That's
state
true.
that.
and not to throw Tom under the bus too much, he did hand me this and said, I don't know how to print Excel
He
sheets.
said that too. He said
So
that too.
he did.
Yeah, no,
but-
it's.
He's doing his best.
I mean, I
doing his best.
You're doing great, Tom.
I have perfect vision and I can't even see this.
You don't have perfect vision.
I do.
But
You have perfect vision?
Yeah, ask me.
Do you have LASIK?
No, I just have. God gave me perfect vision.
So speaking of this too, did you notice that on the record you have this like weird pick here in the purple? Do you remember what that was last week?
Yeah, Tom double lost me. Big Cat literally talked me into the Browns.
Which
which was amazing. And you did it. You
and
did
that
it.
stat I
Yes, you
gave.
did it.
Who, by the way, that stat I've had to say this on every show I've been on because the guy who tweeted that stat, Jack Hammer, that was a pseudonym. He actually had been arrested for sexual misconduct with a minor. So he got fired from whatever paper or something that he was associated with. That wasn't his real name. What a wild thing to choose Jack Hammer as your pseudonym.
Yeah, wow.
How did you find out?
I went to look for this.
Yeah.
So after the Browns beat the 49ers, I went to look for the stat again because I wanted to give him credit. And all the tweets were like, looks like everyone figured out that Jack Hammer's not his real name. And he had deleted his Twitter.
Damn.
His stat was too good.
Yeah, that
He got
was-
too much. He
That's
put
the
out a
government.
great
That's the government.
stat. And everyone was like, dude, great stat. And they're like, wait, who is this Jack Hammer guy? You can't, if you have the pass that he has, you can't have a stat that good.
I think the real question is that past real? When you have stats that good, people don't want to see you succeed like that.
Yeah.
Maybe, and I'm not saying he was, but maybe he was framed.
You just have to say allegedly. In front of
Allegedly,
me.
maybe
man,
he was framed.
I've read a lot. I don't think.
Oh no, that we shouldn't.
No,
No.
I don't. Think
But whatever you say, just
Let's have a good show.
No.
Let's have a good show.
Let's have a good show. Happy to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy to be here. Spooktober. I know that's big for you guys, the boys. What's the best scary movie you've watched thus far?
This far, dude, Delaney Walker put me on this movie. It's like a B-rated film, and it's like a overly gory, over the top. It's like Terrifier.
Okay.
About this clown that doesn't speak, but it's like over the top gory. He saws a woman in half from the Privates Down at one point, and I thought that was a very interesting part of Spooktober for me. So I'll put that in there.
Okay.
That was mine.
There
Did
you
you guys
go.
watch anything, or is that just for me?
I'm watching a show on Netflix right now, the House of Usher.
That's what Willie's on.
Yeah.
Director, have you watched the series each year?
Yeah.
Yeah, Midnight Mass.
Great.
Haunting on Hill House, Bly Manor. Great series.
Do you watch scary movies?
Have you heard this one? Have you heard this one?
Tell me.
I watch. I practice Spooktober every Sunday. I watch the Bears.
Nice. That's big. That's big for you.
Right there.
That's a professional segue right into the picks this week. So we're going to get into the storyline games of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. We are going to start with the Lions at the Ravens. The Ravens favored by 3 right now. I will start with you. The Lions, they keep rolling. The Ravens did get the win over the Titans in London, which was a thing that we talked a lot about on the show last week. But the Lions, they're for real. Are you buying them this week?
I mean, 2 weeks ago, Dan was on here talking about if they're going to be a contender, they got to take care of business. This could easily be a trap game. Ravens are coming off a game in London, although teams right after London are winning this year. But the Ravens beat a very bad Tennessee Titans.
Don't say that. Don't say it like
they
that.
are. Like,
But don't say it like that. Just say they're a team that's playing bad right now.
They're a team that's playing very badly.
Right now.
Yes,
Right now.
They might be imploding. But I like the Lions. Lions in the last 16, 14-2 against the spread. 5-1 against the spread this year. 3-0 on the road. I like the Lions. I think they take care of business. The Ravens are great at running the ball. Lions are better at stopping it.
Dan, you immediately didn't agree with him.
Well, it's not a trap game. It's not a trap game. Both teams are very good. So both teams are going to be ready for this game. There's no trap here.
I'm saying I guess the trap more so on the Lions being this team that's starting to get in Super Bowl
But
conversations.
the Ravens are a good team. Like the trap game would have to be a bad team they're playing that they don't get up for.
It's also hard to be in a trap game when you're an underdog.
Yes, that too.
It's fair.
Good point.
Both great points.
This game is great, though. I'm very
I love the
excited for
Lions.
this game. I am with you on the Lions. The only thing that gives me pause is I do have a feeling the Lions' secondary is maybe not as good as they've been playing because they have not been playing great quarterbacks. So that makes me a little nervous. But I also could say the same thing for the Ravens because the Ravens have been playing not great quarterbacks. You know, C.J. Stroud, first start ever. Ryan Tannehill, Malik Willis. They played Gardner Minshew. The Ravens have gotten some nice wins against some not great quarterbacks, and Jared Goff is playing like a great quarterback right now. He is a top 5 quarterback right now in the NFL. I'm going to take the Lions, though, just because it's +3. I think it's going to be a field goal game. But this game to me will tell me so much about both these teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very excited to see,
So the Lions are still taking a test every week with you.
Yeah, I think the Ravens have just as much of a test as the Lions in this game because this is the first time both these teams are playing. They're both Super Bowl contenders in my mind, and they're going up against each other.
Ravens are?
Yeah, I do think the Ravens are.
I don't know.
I think the Ravens are. Yeah.
I think the Ravens are.
Why not?
Well, when they were the first seed in the AFC, 2019, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
A very good Ryan Tannehill beat the shit out of them.
Even this year, I just think the way that they just got out of it last week against the Titans, I feel like the Ravens losing to the Steelers.
The Ravens are very much like every Ravens team where if they can figure out a way to get that step on the throat mentality and be able to put teams away, I think that's when you see them like, oh shit, well the Ravens are for real. Because that Titans game, they were up 15 at half.
Yeah.
They should have been up 30. They were in the red zone constantly kicking field goals instead of getting touchdowns. Same with the Steelers game. That Steelers game, they completely blew out the Steelers statistically wise in three quarters. They let the Steelers hang around because they couldn't get touchdowns. They were drop passes, all these things. So I think the Ravens have what it takes. They just have to put together that final piece offensively because their defense is for real. So, I put the Ravens in my Super Bowl contender.
And Taylor, you disagree with that?
I should put a little line underneath. I do have a future
know.
on the Ravens, so I'm a little biased.
Like Ravens, AFC, I mean, you got Bills, you got Chiefs, you got Miami, you got Cleveland looked pretty good against the 49ers. Like
Jerry snuck in the Steelers there. Just
I mean, the Ravens killed the Browns. Killed them.
Yeah, but here's what I don't know about the Ravens. I will say that I'm going to take the Lions in this for a couple of reasons, but I am scared about the Lions because in 2014, when I was getting drafted, when the Lions pick came up, I literally prayed to God, please don't pick me. I don't want to go to the Lions. That's how bad I thought the Lions franchise was. Luckily, I was not. Now you see the Lions are having all the success, very happy for the people in Detroit. But if you're looking around all the mainstream media, Stephen A. and Kyle Brandt and Good Morning Football, everyone's saying, oh, Lions are number 1 in the NFC now. They're contenders. They're this or that. And I feel like when you haven't had a lot of success as a franchise and you start to see that because when you walk into the Chow Hall and you see all the TVs and they're putting that up and they're writing on their nice little chalkboards, Lions won, you haven't been in that position before. So is this now a game where it kind of gets to your head a little bit and you get humbled? That's what makes me nervous. And that's what brings us back to trap game.
It's not a trap game, but you are right that this is probably the peak of the Lions' hype, and how they respond will be very interesting. I do think that Dan Campbell is someone that can keep them motivated and on path. Like, he's not going to read his press
He's
clippings.
an ankle biter.
Jared Goff is another guy who he's been to a Super Bowl. He's been on really good teams before. But you're right. This is the peak of the Lions' hype right now.
This may be a dumb question, but from like a standpoint of college football hype versus NFL hype, I would assume that college football guys seeing everything that you're saying would get in your brains much bigger than if you're a professional guy, right? Like, does it really? I mean, does it really affect guys to see that they're number one on all these shows?
I never had the opportunity to have hype when I was in college because when I was at Michigan, we were awful.
Right, but I mean, in the NFL, it actually affects guys like the way that like you're saying that if they see how they're number one, that they wouldn't have those expectations.
Based on my experiences, like with the Titans.
It's human nature.
It's human nature, and it's also like with just specifically the franchise I was with, the games you were supposed to win, it was like you lose. And then the ones that you were, supposed to get blown out by, you end up beating the Kansas City Chiefs in Week 10.
Yeah.
When they were up 10-0 in the first quarter. So it's like, there's really no rhyme or reason. But you see the good stuff. You're like, oh, we're finally getting the respect. We're finally getting the respect. And then all of a sudden, there's a lull. And this could be that lull.
Which that's just,
that was the Panthers a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That would have been a game that, like, if we're talking about Titans, you play down to and get beat by the Panthers. But I think, Campbell, Vrabel, those are two, I do. That's where I feel like Dan Campbell's going to have these guys ready to play.
But you just said it. You said Campbell, Vrabes.
Well, then I had to realize that, Vrabel, then the boys played down.
Yeah, but they are underdogs. Yeah. Remember, they're underdogs.
Yeah.
Which is not a trap game.
And the dumb human in me is like, it wouldn't affect professionals, but like Dan just said, it's human nature. Human nature. You don't think that the Ravens are for real, Jerry?
No. He hates Lamar.
I know. I heard him.
Measure the Ravens up to the same standard you do with the Lions, like executing in the red zone, finishing off drives, stuff like that. I do think that you'd be like, all right, they're not necessarily a Super Bowl contender yet.
Yeah. No, I maybe not right this second, but I think the Ravens have all the pieces ready to go. It's just their offense has to find.
There's a proven formula to beat Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, the Steelers have it.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Steelers.
Jerry has been very adamant back there the whole time.
The Steelers did a great job of making sure that every single one of Lamar Jackson's wide receivers dropped the easiest passes.
Steelers has beaten the Ravens 6 out of the last 7 times.
But Jerry, that game was not on Lamar Jackson. That was on his wide receivers dropping every ball.
Lamar threw some bad passes at the end.
Right, but if his receivers don't drop,
I agree with. That I agree with. But I'm just saying, I don't believe in a guy like Lamar Jackson. I don't look at him and say, this guy's going to win a Super Bowl. He's not.
Okay.
He's just not.
He just hates Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I don't hate him. Listen, he's a good athlete. He's not a good quarterback.
If Lamar got traded to the Steelers?
No, I don't want him. Why would I want him?
He'd be an incredible team right now.
Yeah. It'd be a good team.
And you would have to like him at that point.
I don't have to like him.
He wins 2 games for the Steelers, all of a sudden Jerry's wearing
He'd be in his DMs. No, he'd be in his DMs for sure.
Be like, sorry about all that stuff I said.
Happy birthday Photoshop.
I take Kirk Cousins over Lamar Jackson.
Huh?
That's great.
I take Kirk Cousins over Lamar Jackson.
You sure?
I would.
Okay.
Consistency.
Let's go to the Chargers at the Chiefs. The Chiefs favored by 5.5. Dan, I will start with you. The Chiefs get the win over the Broncos on Thursday Night Football. The Chargers lose to Dallas. Where do we stand on what you think is going on with the Chargers?
So, Justin Herbert's not been playing well. That was a bad Monday night game. It's talking about, basically Justin Herbert on Monday night was what Jerry thought Lamar Jackson was against the Steelers, where he was missing everyone, making bad throws. He makes a couple of those throws to Keenan Allen. They win that game. It's crazy. You ready for a crazy stat that I found?
Love crazy stats. Dan, crazy stats.
So Patrick Mahomes been in the league. I think he played week 17, 2017, but he's been in the league since 2018. What is his record against the AFC West?
Since what year?
2018. He's
undefeated
career.
against the Broncos.
Yep.
I think he's
31 games.
He's dropped. I know he's dropped for sure one against the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And I think he's dropped one against the Chargers.
He's 28-3 against the AFC.
I was working through that.
You were.
I was working through that.
He's lost 2 against the Chargers. 28-3. It's insane. He just dominates everyone. It's not even close comparatively to anyone else's. Even Brady in the AFC East, his winning percentage wasn't as insane as Patrick Mahomes. With that said, 5.5 is a lot against a Chiefs team that doesn't like to cover numbers. I'm going to take the Chargers. They do play the Chiefs tight, and they do have it feels like every time they play this game, it's a 3-point game. I will take the 5.5, and I think the Chargers have a little bounce back. Because Justin Herbert, he knows. He's got to look in the mirror. He cost them that game on Monday.
Yeah.
Taylor or Will, whoever.
I'll go. I'm going to go the opposite. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think the biggest difference between the Chiefs now and Chiefs past is the defense. The Chiefs defense is playing
They're very good.
exceptionally well. I saw a crazy stat, and I don't remember it, but I will say there was
Sounds really crazy.
I saw it on Twitter, and there was a graph of Russell Wilson's numbers and Patrick Mahomes' numbers.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson actually has better numbers
But
right now.
those numbers were so they weren't real numbers.
That's why I chose
it was
not
like
to, because I knew
yards
ball. I
and
was like, I'm
touchdowns.
just going to bring
You're
it
a
up, but
ball
I'm not going to
knower.
say all the stats.
Yeah, you're a ball knower.
And
Still interesting to see Russell Wilson on the graphic beating Patrick Mahomes in a few
that
minutes.
is wild.
Well, I mean, there's a difference.
Ever since the danger witch, Russell Wilson has gone downhill.
Between playing from behind and playing with a lead.
Fair.
Because the defense. Because the defenses. I think the big play in this game is the under.
Oh, I like that.
I think that's a massive play in this game, and but I will take the Chiefs because, I mean, they've yet to prove me wrong. I just think they're that good of a team. I don't know if Justin Herbert's going to be able to bounce back after the way he played in Monday Night Football.
Will?
I'm with Big Cat. I think even though the Chiefs obviously a superior football team just in years past, but they're not scoring a lot of points this year. And to Dan's point with 3-point losses and everything else, the last 3 times they've played, a combined total of 12 points has been the difference. Every loss that the Chargers have had this year has been less than a field goal. And I just think that the Chargers, all we need is 5.5. All we need is 5.5, and I like the Chargers. And if Taylor Swift is going to be there, couple little in the weed stats. The last 2 with Taylor Swift in.
Can I ask you guys a question? I don't want to get all the way into the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift stuff because I've obviously been there and it got canceled online. But I have a question about teammates on that team. Travis Kelce, obviously they had a Thursday night game, so they had a little mini bye. Is there anything like, hey, dude, like you're traveling everywhere, you're partying, like?
No.
Okay.
You don't think so?
Just
Not
take
with
care of your
Travis.
own business.
Not
Yeah,
with
because
Travis.
I would assume he gets a little bit of a different leeway because he's been there, done that, won 2 Super Bowls. Like he knows the rhythms of a season. I'm just wondering if there's any little bit like, hey, or is it really just what if we don't have practice, you do whatever you want with your time.
I think when it comes to Travis, he's like the perennial bad boy of like the NFL. Like he's been known to go out and party. He was like kicked off of Cincinnati, and then they brought him back. Andy Reid literally called Jason Kelce just to be, hey, is this kid gonna fuck it up if everything happens? And so with Travis, it's like the guy lives like a frat kid. You go to his house, he got half bags of Chipotle chips and queso everywhere, and that's how he lives his life. Like everyone understands Travis is gonna be Travis, and he's gonna do his thing. Now, if the numbers, he had a great game. Was it this past game or 2 games ago? But he had
played well.
He's played well.
Yeah.
If he continues to play well and they continue to win games, then no one's gonna say a thing about it.
Yeah, no one will say a thing about it, but those conversations still take place behind closed doors.
Like he's got an ankle injury.
Nothing's gonna be said to Travis, but players when he's gone or when he's not, hitting the team hotel the night before, like doing all the different things.
That is a wild thing. The whole not being in the team hotel.
Even if it's not going to be said to him, like
Right.
even certain coaches, maybe not Andy Reid, but there's going to be like murmurs going on, especially if they take a loss. At
Right.
some point.
As long as they keep winning, it does not
Right.
matter.
Right.
But if
It's
they
all
take a
solved.
loss, then those questions obviously have to pop up, right?
Does it matter that she is who she is? Like she's so famous that everybody's like, well, I mean, it's Taylor Swift, or does it wouldn't matter who the girl
That's
is?
why it doesn't get said to.
Right.
Like that's why it's not a topic.
Like,
at
if it was
all,
just like a
right? It's
random
more like
girl-
behind
There's a level
closed
of that
doors,
for
but-
sure.
Yeah.
Right, like the paparazzi's everywhere. It's like, well, I mean, he's dating Taylor Swift. We're not going to tell him not to date the most famous woman on the planet.
If this was just some rando.
Right.
Yeah.
There'd be a much bigger
They're probably,
problem, right?
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you
But-
doing with this broad? Everyone's like,
There'd be a
Taylor
dust
Swift,
up.
we get
There'd be a
it.
dust up.
Yeah. You can't tell the guy not to be staying at her house.
I think she literally made $56 million in her last concert. It's like, go ahead.
And Tom put on this sheet that it's the last Kansas City home game before her tour resumes.
So maybe she will be there.
So this might be a big deal. I
Yeah.
don't know if that changes anybody's opinions, but
No.
Big deal
I
that
didn't think
she
so.
will be there. Or won't
Like
be?
that it might be the last time she's at Kansas City
Yeah, I think
before.
the last time the last 2 times Taylor Swift has been at a game, Mahomes, he's 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he is a 78.5 rating. So
There's a
just
stat.
in the weeds.
There's a stat.
She'll weasel her way into an.
Okay, we don't need Jerry's take.
Yeah.
That will get us in trouble.
Okay, yeah.
Jerry's got takes.
Yeah. Oh, as soon as you brought her up, he was back here just mumbling to himself. So we don't need his take.
Everyone online who thinks that like I'm a bad guy, like the
Don't
real
do that.
thoughts are in Jerry's head.
Now it's not the time to defend yourself.
Yeah.
No. I'm not. Listen, I don't have to defend myself.
right,
I'm saying
he's
like
right.
the way they think they talk about me,
Yeah.
they don't
He's
realize
right.
that they're actually talking about him.
He's right.
So it's Jerry, and you're just projecting Jerry's comments.
No, I made a joke, but he has real takes.
So we're gonna
He'll tell you them offline.
offline without a microphone. So speaking of Jerry, let's move to something that we can put online. Jerry Edits, the game of the week presented by the Chevy Silverado. Visit Chevy.com to check out the Chevy Silverado. So we're talking Dolphins at Eagles. This is Lucas Edits presented by Jersey Jerry.
It's going to be a big test for Lucas because he's got to do something that I don't know if he did it.
What do you mean?
Okay.
You will. No scoring.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, wow, that's a blowout.
So it's
Yeah.
21-7?
Low scoring. Dan, you said that this was a test for Lucas.
Yeah.
Did he pass?
No.
He failed.
Wow. The Eagles are wearing their Kelly Greens on Sunday night. They haven't worn them in God knows when. They weren't allowed to wear them for a very long time because I think the old owner of the Eagles had the rights to the Kelly Greens. The Kelly Greens are some of the best uniforms.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to take the Eagles because of the Kelly Greens. I think it's look good, play good kind of feel.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So you're going to come out with all these amazing stats.
Yeah.
And then you see a uniform color and you're like, that's why I'm taking the
That's how his brain works.
That's me.
And on that
you
note,
just summed up me. I can give you stats, but I can also give you the things that matter the most, the Kelly Green uniforms.
We talked about the Tampa Bay creamsicle uniforms for like an hour last week.
And they suck in them. And
Yeah,
they sucked
they're really
on
bad in
Sunday.
them.
Yeah.
So you have to, when he
what was it
starts.
down there, like 0-23?
No, they're
or
like
something?
100 wins, 226 losses.
Where am I getting 0-23 then?
I don't know.
Maybe since the 70s? I don't know.
But
Since they're
you say
alternates or something like that.
Yeah.
you say the uniforms thing and the stats thing, but that's actually a stat
It
to
matters.
them, right? Like the uniforms are
Kelly
stats.
Green-
No, what he just said right there is a stat, but hey,
Right.
they're wearing the Kelly
I'll put
Greens.
it in
They
my
haven't worn them in a long time. I'm going to take Philly.
Well, I'll put it in my computer model. I put it in my computer model. The Kelly Greens are worth at least 7 points.
Prove them wrong.
What model?
My computer model.
You don't see the power rankings every week?
Yeah.
He's got
Are
a
you going to
yeah,
argue
with
with
the-
my
with the
computer?
He's got a
software. He's got a
You can argue with my
software.
You're being a
computer.
little nasty
But
to
no,
Ryan
no,
Tannehill in
you-
that model. And I saw Nebraska's taking a couple shots too. But
I think we're
did see
back on
Michigan up
track.
there.
We're back on track now.
Listen, the
GPOT.
computer model, it's not me. You're making it personal. I don't decide.
I'm not
It's
taking
the
anything
computer.
personal. I'm just trying to figure out the
Right.
best way to
But
make
you
sure
said
people
you're-
watching
You said you're
get
being
what they need.
nasty. I'm not being nasty. The computer is deciding.
That's a fair
The computer
statement.
also
I
decided
did say
Kelly
that.
Green uniforms worth 7 points.
Hey, Jersey, before the show started, I see how he gets you. Because he just got me.
I got
Gets me every day.
Yeah, yeah.
You just
I'm used to
accept it.
though. Yeah.
I
just accept it.
like the Kelly Green. I like the Eagles, and I think I figured out the formula of how they win this game. They're second in the NFL in time of possession. Every win that they have, Vikings 39 minutes, Bucks 38 minutes, Commies 35 minutes, Rams 37 minutes. When they're running the ball over 30 times a game, they win the game. And Miami is a different offense on the road. They average, I believe, 23 or 25 points on the road comparatively to when they're at home at 47. The Eagles are nice. I think they bounce back. I think as long as Jalen Hurts takes care of the football, which he had 3 interceptions last week, and they still almost get out of there and beat the Jets. He takes care of the football. They keep the ball on the ground. Swift is averaging over 5 a carry. Keep the ball on the ground. They win the game.
Here's another one for you, okay?
I can't wait.
I think the Dolphins are very good. You can't take anything away from 5-1. Their offense is phenomenal. Their wins, though:
You got a stat?
Chargers, Patriots, Giants, Panthers, Broncos. You want to say maybe the Chargers are okay? Patriots, Giants, Panthers, Broncos are 4 of the worst teams in the NFL.
And to go on your Chargers one, they won by 3 points,
2
and that's
points.
against
Yes,
the
yes.
worst defense in the
Yes.
NFL. And this
So
Eagles defense is good.
They stepped up in class one time against the Bills. They got absolutely obliterated. I think the Dolphins are good. This is another step up in class. I just think, on the road, Eagles off a loss, I think the Eagles win this game.
It's a great take, Dan.
Thank you.
They really haven't
Jersey,
beaten
come
nobody.
on. Come on, Jersey.
Let me say it again.
It's been facts. They haven't
Let
beaten
me say it
nobody.
again. Chargers week 1, but Patriots, Giants, Panthers, Broncos. I mean, if you're missing the Cardinals and the Bears, but those are the 6 worst teams in the NFL, right? Those are 4 of the 6.
There's also a phrase called Any Given Sunday.
Of course.
It is true.
Of course.
And they're all professional athletes there. And someone who's a fan of the
They pay
Bears
them
maybe
too.
should take that with pride. Because any given Sunday, those Bears can win.
But they won't.
With that attitude, with that kind of fan
Right.
base, absolutely. I'm going Dolphins. I'm going Dolphins money line.
Dolphins money line.
Yeah.
Dolphins money line.
Okay. That's the
Okay.
official pick.
Official
I
pick.
mean, you guys saw the little.
You could have
small
had the
sheet.
points. That's
He made this mistake.
I
But
did
you
make
actually
this
survived
mistake.
this
You kinda-
mistake.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got Thank
You survived it?
Yeah.
Well, Big
You just
Cat.
whispered thank you, Dan.
Yeah, he gave an alternate line one week. That was
No, I
so
said.
stupid.
Run
I
the
said,
tape
I
back, 'cause
said,
I'm
I
pretty
said-
sure he just said thank you.
He said no. I think you won that one. I said yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Dan kind of big catted me.
Yeah,
I like said
Delaney
something
and
like
I got
all I
2
said was
extra
you.
points from him.
All I said was you
Yes.
can move the line to 14.5 and they're still going to cover. He goes,
Me
oh,
and
so
Delaney
that's
were
what
like,
the
okay.
bet is.
Yeah.
I was like,
Didn't it end up at 15 and a half?
Yeah, 15 and a half, but
Yes.
they covered.
They
yeah.
covered.
Yeah,
You survived it.
You got big catted really
Yeah.
big time there. Let's move to the gotta have it pick of the week. Dan, what is your gotta have it pick of the week?
Okay, my gotta have it pick of the week is the Green Bay Packers off a bye against the Denver Broncos. The Green Bay Packers have not looked good. They've looked like a total middle of the road, if bottom half of the league team. Jordan Love has struggled. You are now off a bye. You're playing one of the worst teams in the NFL in the Broncos who can't figure out anything on defense, especially rush defense. People have been running all over the Broncos. Can the Packers, they got to have this game, and they got to do it the right way where, hey, Jordan Love struggled, run the ball. Run the ball down the Broncos' throat. Figure out a way to keep running the ball down the Broncos' throat. I think the Packers got to have it. I think they do win on Sunday.
Will, what do you think about this game?
I agree. They're fully healthy. Jones is back. I think Watson's back. Lean on the run game. They have to have this game. I think even playing in Denver, the benefit, obviously, the altitude, but even the crowd, the boos are going to come early, especially if they get behind. Packers.
Yeah.
Taylor?
I'm with you on the Packers. I think Jordan Love getting that bye for a lot of teams, they come out a little soft, or they've just a little too loose after a bye. But with Jordan Love being a first year starter, this is a good opportunity for him to reset the whole computer.
Yep.
Computer mainframe.
Yep.
Every week we talk about Russell Wilson. Where do we stand? I mean, week 7 of the NFL. You think he's going to get benched?
Oh, he's going to get benched.
How soon?
At some point this season. I just think that Sean Payton did not pick Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson, now, in the only defense of Russell Wilson, his defense has been very bad. So it's not all on him.
And
It's
the numbers
not-
thing with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but it's not all on him, but you see it. He's just a different guy. He turtles in the pocket a lot. He takes sacks when the sack isn't even there. He's kind of seeing ghosts a little bit. It's just not functional football that the Broncos are playing right now.
Will, your gotta have it pick of the week, the Falcons and the Bucks. Who gotta have it?
I'm going to say the Buccaneers got to have it more than the Falcons because they laid an egg against Detroit. This is a divisional game. Yes, they are at the top of their division right now, but they need to stay there because in the next 2 weeks they go on the road to Buffalo and Houston, I believe. So at home against the Falcons, they got to have it. However, I am picking the Falcons.
Dan?
I'm saying they're in the got to have it situation.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Falcons as well. The Bucks' problem is they cannot run the football. I think they're 31st in running the football, averaging a couple yards a play. The Falcons' defense has been getting better, and if you can pressure Baker Mayfield and make it a one-dimensional game, the Bucks are going to struggle. I think the Falcons, especially with Desmond Ridder, he's been doing this up and down. Looks really bad one week, looks good the next. That game against the Commanders, the Falcons dominated that game. They should have won that game.
Heineke wins that game.
Right, so I think you're getting a little bit of
That's a boy,
extra. I do think Heineke wins that game. I think you're getting a little extra points here just because the Falcons lost that game when they could have won it. And the Bucks are in my camp of they've beaten bad teams. And I think the Falcons are a little bit better than a bad team.
Dan, you always brought up the Desmond Ridder winning at home stat. That's over now, right?
Yeah, that's over. He has lost at home. I think he was 31-0 at home in college and NFL.
Damn.
He'd never lost at home, and now it's a dead stat.
Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to give up on Baker Mayfield.
No, I'm not giving up on him. I just think
ready
it's
to
a
give
tough
up on him.
offense to run right now.
I love Arthur Smith, but I just call it hope, call it intuition. I'm going to go with the Bucs on this one. I think the Bucs are going to get back on track in this game. It is a get back on track. Got to have it, whatever the phrase is. I think they're going to do that this week.
So, Taylor, usually Dan takes the Bears to gotta have it, but you have the Raiders and the Bears who gotta have it.
No, I'm actually taking the Raiders.
Oh, okay.
And my gotta have it. I like the Bears are dead. As a fan, if I was a fan of the Bears, I would definitely lean on the phrase any given Sunday, which I think Dan is doing a disservice to the city of Chicago.
Well, no, I'm doing a phrase. We have the first and second pick in the draft.
That's solid.
Right.
But also, let's be in the here and now. Let's be in the present.
Yeah, first and
Let's focus on what's going on.
We're in the
here.
present.
You're
First
going to
and second
have
pick.
one of those two
What
picks.
is the present? First and second pick in the draft.
So let's drop
the present and the
let's-
future.
Yeah, let's play for the yeah.
Go on,
Right now, as it
try.
looks in the future, in the present right now, the future looks like you guys have the first and second pick.
The game against the Vikings, if they had won that game, I would have definitely started to be like, hey, look, if they can string a couple together, they're 1-5. What are you going to say?
Justin Fields a bust?
He's not playing. So I don't know why we're bringing him up.
Is he a bust?
He's hurt.
I know, but is he a
Dislocated.
bust?
Are they
No,
gonna
he's
draft
not
a
a bust.
quarterback next year?
Probably.
So he's a bust.
I think the Bears have ruined him as a human being.
I'm not going to go any farther.
I
feel bad. I feel bad for Big Cat.
It's the situation where, like, when we're having the intervention with Dave on Mac Jones, but it's not like Justin Fields was at a place like New England. He was at Chicago.
No, he's
So
been
you're just
ruined.
saying, like,
I think he could be successful somewhere else. He can't be successful in Chicago.
Ohio State quarterbacks.
CJ Stroud.
Besides CJ Stroud, it's his first year.
I tried to bring
Stroud
that up
boys
last week.
stand
Dave
up.
did not like that. Dave did not like that I mentioned an Ohio State quarterback is playing well.
CJ Stroud's probably the best Ohio State quarterback in the NFL ever. I haven't looked into that at all, but I think it's worth looking into.
Craig Krenzel.
Is that true?
Oh, who is that?
I don't know. I don't watch college ball.
This actually
Terrell
is.
Pryor?
Could be.
This
Because all of
is-
them, I think, are duds.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
No, don't do that.
Joe Burrow.
Don't do that.
He does
Burrow.
claim Ohio
Burrow.
State to a certain
Going back to
degree.
my game, I'm going to take the Raiders.
Okay.
They've won 2 in a row. I think we're trying to keep jobs. We know they're not as good as they need to be really in the AFC West, really competing for a playoff spot. But David Ziegler, the GM, we need to keep him in that shop right there. He's going to get him right.
Fun fact about Joe Burrow, he wanted to go to Nebraska.
Oh, okay. That was not fun.
That was not a fun fact.
By the way, this is the 29th starting quarterback for the Bears since the year 2000. So Tyson Bagent is starting because Justin Fields is hurt. 29 starting quarterback. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
You need one of those jerseys
Like the Browns
Johnny
have.
Manziel,
Yeah.
where it all went down.
It's Craig Krenzel was one of them.
How'd he do?
Not good.
Not as good as CJ Stroud.
Not good. Not good.
So
yeah, 29.
you think that as long as Justin Fields is in Chicago, he's just a ruined human being?
Listen, he played well the last couple of games. Last week he did not play well. Then he got hurt. But yeah, it's a bad situation. I think you got to just get rid of everything.
Who do you want
I
them to
agree.
draft?
I'm a Drake May guy.
Drake May, yeah.
I'm a Drake May guy.
Okay.
Duke?
Yeah.
Is that Duke?
UNC.
He was just on Pardon
Same
My
colors?
Take, right?
Yeah, he was. I'm a Drake May guy.
Does he like the city of Chicago?
We gave him the question. We're like, rank these cities, and we're like, Chicago, Denver, Boston, Charlotte, but it kind of looks like Chicago. He actually picked Charlotte, but it kind of looks like Chicago, so that would be the Panthers pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you were selling him a little bit.
Yeah.
I love that.
Will, what do you think about this game?
I think Raiders. I think the Raiders. They strung 2 wins in a row now. They haven't looked pretty winning either, and I think they know that. Devontae Adams, he gets on a presser yesterday, talks about how the standard we're not hitting the standard still with winning games. I think they do got to have it, and I think they'll.
You guys aren't believers in Tyson Bagent?
No.
I was the first believer in him.
Yeah, he was.
You
Gets
were?
the ball fast.
Seen one pass.
Well, I think he's got all the records in Division II college football. Shepherd College, Shepherd University.
So Jerry's a believer. Are you a believer?
Sure.
You have to be.
You talking about the undrafted cat that came in last week for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
you see that?
Listen, when you're on your 29th starting quarterback, whatever.
Who cares?
Oh, he's got
Dan,
some
show
magic
some
in
light,
the arms.
Dan. Show some light.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, I
Root for the
took
guy.
Look at the graphic. I took the Bears,
You give up on the Steelers every time they lose.
and they actually
gonna
win
give up.
games.
He said, "Come on, believe in the guy. Give him a little bit of belief."
Can I ask you a
Wait till
question?
my Steelers.
The Bears haven't won a home game in over a year. September.
It's bad.
September 25th last year against
When
the
things
Texans.
are at their darkest, there needs to be somebody to lead them to the light. And
Yeah.
you have.
And he has it.
You have the reach.
Dan does have
And
him.
you have the fan base.
What do I do
to
every
lead.
Sunday? What do I do every Sunday after the Bears lose? I tweet out the little graphic, first and second pick. That is the light.
Yeah,
I
everybody-
can't tell you
so
how
turns
much
and
that's the
switches the
light.
light.
You can't expect him to have a light
We
right
keep
now.
going towards that light, first and
Look
second
at- look
pick.
at-
I
the man
do.
to
I
your
think
left.
he's.
First and second
Nebraska
pick.
Cornhusker.
Hang on. Stop.
Chicago. If we're talking about college football,
but
is a different story.
We're talking about fandom.
But Chicago and Nebraska aren't in similar situations right now at this moment in time.
Right, because we have the first and second pick and you don't.
Correct. And we are holding the gun to the Big Ten West, and you guys are not. So yes, we're
not.
Very different.
And also that Raiola kid who you thought was going to go to Nebraska isn't going to Nebraska.
I didn't think he was. I was hopeful that he might see the opportunity.
I don't know who Raiola is.
Okay, there was a part of me.
Yeah, you definitely were.
And I still think we're going to land him. Yeah.
That was a kid from Arizona?
There's also,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like a few years ago, like the Bills and the Browns were like the places like where careers went to die.
Yeah.
Is Chicago that franchise now?
Yeah, but it's been for a long time. 29 starting quarterbacks since 2000. Need to find a guy.
If you're a fan of a team and you say that what you thought was going to be your franchise quarterback is a ruined human being, there's your answer.
Yeah,
like that's where he is.
They've
you know,
ruined him.
You make a mistake. If you go to Ohio State, then you know you're not going to pan out in the NFL if you're a quarterback.
Stroud.
You should never go to Ohio State.
Stroud boys stand up.
He's won. If we're to look at stats all day.
and it's very early in his career. Hopefully,
they're on a winning streak. 1-0.
1-0 is not a streak. Two's got to be a streak, right?
No, one is the start of a streak. You look back and you're like, oh, that was the start.
By the way, I'm sure it's very hard for you to do a show with him when Michigan is so good, and the three of us are down bad with college football. Is it annoying to do a show with him?
It shouldn't be.
He's all over the place. He's kind of aimless where he wants to put some of his dialogue at times. But listen, all I say is Michigan is playing like the best college football team in the country right now, and I'll leave it at that.
You have to root for Michigan to win the national title because if they do, Jim Harbaugh's going back to the NFL.
I agree.
And
No,
then
that's
it's
not
all
going to happen.
over. And then
no,
it's all over.
you haven't seen the headlines.
It's all over.
They're already working through a contract to make him the highest paid guy in the Big Ten.
Oh, yeah. Coaches
Here's what I'll say. Here's what I'll say. What Will's referring to. Can I elaborate on that a little bit? What we're saying, even though that's college football, but I just.
Well, it's just because you bring up Nebraska, and I can feel his pain as an A&M fan.
So since Will and I have started the Bussin' Bowl between Nebraska and Michigan, there has been like I support your team, you support my team, and then when the Bussin' Bowl happens, we separate, we get angry, and then we come back together. What I've noticed as I look back at my memory bank of how much I've supported Nebraska compared to how much Will has supported Michigan, Will hasn't really supported Michigan the way I've stood on the table for the Big Red, as a good friend should be. So this year, when Nebraska loses to Minnesota, what do I say? That you lost to a hockey school. I kind of shit on them a little bit because I think it's important to kind of reignite the flame. And then once the Bussin' Bowl happens, I go on our podcast solo to be nasty, and actually I actually gave Nebraska flowers. And now it's Will's time to come back to Michigan and be like, let's go. And you can do that. You can yank it all you want, brother, but I think it's time to look in the mirror. We got to look in the mirror. Justin Herbert needs to look in the mirror.
I've truly said, it's just the line is drawn in the sand. You want me to wear like Michigan T-shirt if I don't wear a Nebraska one?
If we go to Michigan, Penn State, if Penn State beats Ohio State, I think you should wear Michigan stuff because I'm your best friend.
And we want Jim Harbaugh out of the Big Ten.
No, and we want the Big Ten to win the national championship.
I think he leaves no matter what.
Okay. All right.
I don't know about that.
Let him whisper it. Let him whisper it. This is what you need.
Not the college football show, but there's always the college football show.
If people are watching this, this is how you handle bullying. You ignore it and you move forward.
He's whispering to me it's time to do rapid fire. So let's move on to the rapid fire games of the week presented by Body Armor. Jersey Jerry is going to bring the Body Armor water cart. Thank you as always.
Thank God.
Do what?
I'm thirsty.
I am too. We have the Body Armor. I've got the blue raspberry in front of me. Of course, it is the official water of Barstool Sports. It's available in stores nationwide. And of course, to the store on Amazon. Get yours today. Will, how are we feeling about the Commanders? The Commanders are playing the Giants. We know the Giants are god-awful this year. The Commanders are favored by 3. Thank you, Jerry. You were high on the Commanders early in the season. Where are we at when they're playing this dumpster fire in New York?
Yeah, I still got them. Up there in the East. I think they got a shot to compete a little bit. I don't know, probably make the wild card because the Eagles seem like they're going to be the dogs in the East. I think the Giants. I think the Giants +3. I was having should I go? Should I link it? I know. It stopped for a minute. But here's why I like the Giants. Daniel Jones, as abysmal as he is as a quarterback, for whatever reason, plays his best ball against Washington. He's playing. Is he still out?
I think he's still out.
I thought it was question up in the air.
He might be. Okay.
That's a mistake the fourth chair makes.
Even Tyrod Taylor, I like the way Tyrod operated the Giants. I like the way he operated the offense outside of that goal line moment that everybody was talking about. But even if Daniel Jones did play, he seems to play his best ball. But if we're going with Tyrod Taylor, I even like Tyrod against Washington. I'm going to take the Giants +3.
That was a good save. Everything you said about Daniel Jones, same for Tyrod. That's all you got to say.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna just rattle off is that Daniel Jones is 5-1-1.
Yeah, no, they play.
He plays really good against Washington for whatever reason.
And this is a divisional game. Underdog at home, I think you just got to take the Giants. And I know that they stink. They did find a little something. They were moving the ball well against the Bills. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Giants.
Taylor?
I'm really excited about when I come back next because this is going to be a big week for my record compared to y'all two because we've had so many different games. I'm going to go Washington in this.
Okay. Is he going to be invited back, Dan?
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, yeah.
He's
I
for sure
appreciate
back.
that.
Yeah.
It's about having fun.
No, I'm having a great time.
100%.
Yeah, you're doing a great
I'll
job,
be back, soon.
Okay, Browns at the Colts. Dan, the Browns beat the 49ers, which I think shocked a lot of people. The Colts lost to the Jags. How are you feeling about the Browns right now?
It didn't shock you.
No, Jack Hammer.
It didn't shock Dan.
Jack Hammer. Yeah.
Bad guy, but
bad
good
guy.
stat. Bad guy, good stat.
Yeah. The Browns' defense is insane. Insane. If you look at the stats, they're insane. They've given up 1,000 yards in 5 games. They've given up, I think, 52 first downs total in 5 games. Like every step of the way. I saw last night. I was going through some stats. They're giving up like third down conversions at like a 23% clip. That's insane. Like they're playing on a different level. And Gardner Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew. I proposed this last week. They should start Sam Ehlinger and then bring in Gardner Minshew because Gardner Minshew, as a starter, is 2-11 in his last 13 starts. As a relief pitcher, he's 2-0. Let someone else start, then bring him in. I'm serious.
Give him the first couple series and then pull him.
Yeah, and then be like, Gardner, you're in.
It's like a mental thing.
Yeah,
The flow of the game's already in it.
Yeah.
Everyone's counting him out.
If they told me that Sam Ehlinger was starting for the first quarter in this game, I would take the Colts, but I can't.
Yeah, if Gardner Minshew was going to show up at all, it would have been last week against the Jags.
I know.
The perfect revenge game. I'm gonna go with the Browns in this. Jim Schwartz is a stud.
Yeah.
He's a stud.
Will?
I do. I think I align with you guys on this one. I think if there was any team, we were talking about the Lions and how the Titans, they play down and up. I feel like Browns are kind of that team. Like sometimes they show that they're really good on defense. But then there's some games like when they played the Steelers where it's just like, yo, what kind of team is this? But I think I'm going to rock with you guys, and I'm going to go Browns. This is my I don't know game of the week.
But you didn't say I don't know, so that...
This is now my I don't know game of the week.
That's fair.
You elaborated.
Yeah.
Okay, Taylor, the Bills at the Patriots. Now, usually the fourth chair, when Dave is here, we have to do a whole intervention with the Patriots.
Right.
But the Patriots are 1-5. People are not a fan of Mac Jones.
Level heads are going to prevail in the fourth chair today.
So how are you feeling about the Bills
I'm going to
Patriots?
go Bills. This is, what do you call it, a mortal lock or whatever?
Mortal lock.
Yeah, this is a mortal lock situation.
More lock
the-
at 8.5?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think the Patriot fan base is still in the Tom Brady area, remembering the past. I was in Boston for the Barstool Awards. And I went to a bar after, and there was a couple of Pats fans, and I had a good conversation with them. I was like, hey, what's the deal with Bill Belichick? Like, how long does he have, do you think? And they literally looked at me and said, well, after what he's done for us, he can stay as long as he wants. There's complacency in New England, and for that reason, I think the Bills, it's a mortal lock, 8.5. I absolutely think the Bills are going to win this.
Dan?
It's a tough game. I know it shouldn't be a tough
Exact
game.
opposite of it.
Yeah, no, listen, the Bills defense has lost so much, and they've lost it at every single level. They lost Tre'Davious White, they lost Milano, and then they also lost someone on their defensive line. I can't remember his name. But
Daquan?
yes.
Torn
Yes.
back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you could see it against the Giants. The Giants have no offensive line. They're starting a backup. They're, 14-point underdogs. They moved the ball. They couldn't score touchdowns, but they moved the ball. So,
Yeah.
this is a. No, I'm going to take the Bills. Fuck it. No, I'm going to take the Patriots.
Don't do it.
It's so
Hey,
stupid.
Second guess yourself. That is.
8.5 points is a lot.
That's how you know that. That's how you know the Bills. That's a mortal lock.
I
What
know
do we all have in common with Mac Jones
White.
in the month of October?
White.
White. What's the second one? None of us have thrown a touchdown pass. They can't move the ball, even though
good
the
stat.
Giants were.
That's a
Like,
good stat.
they haven't been playing well.
Bills. All right.
And
good stat.
you are right about moving the ball. I just don't think the Patriots can do
Okay.
it. I think
Okay.
we're going Bills.
You're right.
So Bills across the
Bills
board?
all around. Yep.
Bills all around.
Yep, you're right.
None of us have thrown a touchdown pass. It's a great stat.
I get to this point of the season, and it's like you want to take the grossest teams with these big point spreads because everyone's going to be on the Bills, but fine. I'm going to ride with the boys.
The Patriots are bad. All right, Jerry, your Steelers at the Rams. How are we feeling back there?
I feel good. Steelers coming off a bye.
You feel good about them going out to L.A.?
Listen, LA's tough. It's a tough team. Offense, they're great. Receivers are great. I think the Steelers are going to struggle stopping Kupp and Nakua. But Tomlin on the road, dog.
Dog.
Gotta take him.
Dog.
Gotta take him. Listen, I just want my quarterback to start getting some respect. And he's been disrespected his whole entire NFL career up to this point.
You know where that starts?
That's not true.
It is.
You know where
This whole
that's-
entire offseason, people are saying they're
You know where that starts?
Where?
It starts at home.
With me?
Yeah.
I didn't disrespect him.
I'm just saying, deep down, you got to feel it.
I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it.
I don't
Listen,
know if you do feel it.
Listen,
And the reason he doesn't have
It
respect
starts
is
at home.
because
You
he's
just
not
did
playing
the thing to
respectable
Jerry that
ball
I did
every
to you about
He
the
wins
Bears.
games. He's a winner.
Right, but
he doesn't need to be perfect.
He wins games or TJ Watt wins games?
Defense wins a lot of games, but he has a lot of clutch drives at the end. Listen, he's beaten guys that people say aren't even on his level. Lamar Jackson's beat
Drop
him.
balls.
Okay, Deshaun Watson beat him twice in his career. This guy, Kenny, he's a gamer. He's a gamer. He loves to win.
I agree
He's
he's
a
a
winner.
gamer.
He's a gamer.
Is that a face that?
No,
what he's
listen.
saying?
I love the guy.
No, there's no doubt you love the franchise.
Yeah, like,
TJ.
listen.
But the passion in which you're speaking is not confident.
I'm
Do
confident.
you believe it?
You going?
Yeah, I believe it. Listen,
tell.
Tomlin has a dog on the road. Don't overthink
Yeah,
it.
that's really it. I'm just taking Tomlin as a dog. That's just what he does. He wins games as a dog, and then he loses. I mean, we sat here a couple weeks ago.
You're
and
right,
Jerry
spot
was
on.
like, they're going to kill the Texans. I was like, no, they aren't. They're favorites on the road. Like that. Take Tomlin as a dog.
Will.
I don't think there's a chance in hell.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, but I'll say this though.
That's why Tomlin as a dog is
Yeah.
always.
I'll
good.
say
Got people
this.
Like Will
There's
walking
part of
around.
me, and we'll see if Taylor join in as well. I want to rock with you, Jerry. I want to root for the Steelers. I don't think they win, but I'm saying my pick is I'm going to go Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to root for the Steelers.
Love it.
And that way, there's no gray area after this.
Yeah, exactly.
So you went with the Steelers?
I'm going to go Steelers.
He wants
Just
to root for Jerry.
I want to root
but
for Jerry.
that's a built-in insurance policy, the way you approach the whole thing. You want the Rams.
But
You think the Rams are going to win by
what do
minus
you, what do you
3.
mean by there's a built-in
Cooper,
insurance?
because
Make
you're
your
like,
pick.
I'm doing this. You tell me, you
Pittsburgh.
look at the camera, I'm doing this for Jerry.
No,
I'm
because
doing this
here's
for
why.
Jerry.
Here's
And-
why. Here's why. Every
So
week,
everyone knows when we go like
every
this, you go,
week,
well, you know the Rams last
was a
week.
Jerry pick,
That was a
yeah.
Jerry pick.
every week we get in the batter's box with the Steelers. I usually
Go against
go against Jerry. I usually
Yeah.
throw
And
how's
punches.
that work out for you?
I try to get him off his game.
How's it worked out?
We're like 50-50. They're
Yeah.
3-3. When they win, he
3-2.
rides them, and then
3-2.
3-2. Yeah. But this is a moment I think like I'll get on board. But if they lose, I go back to
I
the
will
big
say this.
lipstick. They suck.
I think the Steelers are a type of team. They give up a lot of yards to wide receivers the whole year. I think they're like 28th or 29th in the league.
Top
They're
five.
going to give up yards to Cooper Kupp and Nakua. They're going to drive up and down the field. But
At LA.
TJ Watt in the red zone.
Puka.
Yeah, Puka.
Yeah, DePuka.
Yeah.
And Kupp's like finding his stride.
Yeah, no,
Like
I agree.
256 yards already.
He's probably going to have over 100 yards, but at the end of the day,
Probably more.
push comes to shove. That
You take the
defense-
over on that.
There will be a lot of Steelers
Fourth quarter.
fans there.
TJ
Fourth
Watt's in
quarter.
it.
That's it. That's all you need.
So Taylor, you're not riding with Jerry.
Well, now I feel bad.
No, yeah, pick the
I'm over here
Rams.
on an island on my fourth. In the
Are you
fourth
riding with the
chair.
boys or are you going against the boys?
Oh shit.
Can I do it like you did it?
Yeah.
You listen. Any other day I would go against Jerry, but in this issue, Jerry, I'm gonna go with the Steelers for you because of you, Jerry. I'm gonna do it for Jerry. I'm gonna go with Jerry. I'm with Jerry.
He's with Jerry. Wink. Okay, let's go to the Cardinals at the Seahawks. Dan, the Seahawks 3-2. The Cardinals are 1-5. Who are you riding with?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks here. The Cardinals, nice story to start the season. They've kind of regressed a little here. The biggest issue, though, is the Cardinals can't rush the passer. They're last in the league at rushing the passer. Geno's got a little knee injury that he says he's fine, but you can tell that he's not totally comfortable. But I think he's going to be able to sit there in the pocket and dice him up. And the Seahawks, they should have won that game against the Bengals. They dominated the Bengals statistically. They just couldn't get the ball in the end zone when they were getting in the red zone. I think they fixed that. I think they win this game.
Will?
Seahawks. I like the Seahawks. The bye week last week, I think, was big for the health of the secondary. And I think coming off the bye, they'll be.
Well, they played the Bengals last week.
Second, that's a fourth chair comment.
They play. The sheet says Seahawks last week bye, but if you're a ball watcher, you know that they played the Bengals last week.
It's okay. You read
Seahawks.
You read what was in front of you. I mean,
I did.
Burgundy.
I should have been listening. That's the brain dead moment.
Ron
that happened.
Burgundy.
It's a
No,
week
that's okay.
that
It's okay. Hey, it's all right.
You're doing a great job.
Well, let's
Drink
not
some more of
let's
that.
not forget week 1.
Yeah.
When I called Dan Dave 6 times
Yeah.
on the show. Like, mistakes happen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mistakes
I'm
happen.
on to the next play.
You move on.
I'm on to the next
Okay.
play.
That mentality, babe.
Yeah.
That was very cute.
I'm going to take the Cardinals. Kyler Murray is getting activated off PUP. He's not going to be able to return to practice. Josh Dobbs feels that heat. There's clamoring, there's arguing that Josh Dobbs might be the best quarterback in Tennessee Volunteers history.
Wait, does he feel that heat? It's Kyler Murray's job.
Is it though?
Yeah.
It's a lot of money, but Kyler Murray comes back.
Yes,
he starts falling apart.
I'm going to say
Maybe he's a
right now,
he's a
it
trade
is
suspect.
Kyler Murray's job.
It's his job.
Right.
But I'm saying he maybe trade.
I think Josh Dobbs probably like, fucking thank God.
Think so?
Yeah, it's like
I think
I
that
want
guy
to keep.
loves ball.
The
He
longer,
loves ball.
the longer I stay out here, the more they realize I'm not that good.
No, I think
That's
Like he probably.
that's how I'm
yes.
feeling.
I'm taking
I would like
I'm taking
if you're a
Cardinals.
backup quarterback,
Take the
the
Cardinals
worst
plus
thing,
7.5. I'm taking the Cardinals plus 7.5.
the worst thing that can happen to you if you're a backup quarterback is to have an extended stretch of playing, and everyone's like, ooh, okay.
And
You
then
need that 2 game.
Yeah, right. You need to win a quick game, maybe struggle a little, but like keep them in the game, the second game, and be like, I did my job.
And then when Kyler comes back, and if he struggles, you'll be like, see, it wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault.
Because in the beginning, like
Right.
Dobbs was kind of like, oh, they're kind of like a frisky team.
Right, they
Last
get
year with the
out
Titans,
there.
they win it.
Yeah.
You know, it's
He
like,
hasn't thrown
oh,
a pick,
should
and he's
we
thrown a
get
couple.
bring
Yeah.
Dobbs back?
I remember that.
Yeah.
I still hold that close to my heart, even though it was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
You're allowed to.
I'm gonna
The
go-
best
I'm
thing
gonna
that
go
could
Cardinals
happen to
plus
Josh
7.5.
Dobbs right now is Kyler Murray coming back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Until he throws for 3 touchdowns this week.
Like, imagine if he had come
interceptions.
back like 2 weeks ago, everyone would be like, Josh Dobbs was so fucking good.
And anytime Kyler Murray would fuck up, they'd be like, we need Josh Dobbs back.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray
Yes.
Yes.
Short.
bust.
Loves video games, though.
Loves them.
Monday Night Football, the 49ers at the Vikings. Will, the 49ers did drop that game to the Browns last week. The Vikings beat the Bears. How are we feeling about the 49ers bouncing back?
Can we?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I don't know game of the week number 2.
Okay, I know.
I feel like I'm biased because I ride with my guy Kurt. But then without Justin Jefferson, I just don't know how they do it, especially going against a pissed off Niners team that's got to go on the road to Minnesota. But also, where's the health at with Trent Williams? Christian McCaffrey, I know there's some murmurs going that he will be ready to go. Deebo Samuel, that makes me think, okay, Vikings might have a chance to cover here. Vikings plus 6.5.
Oh.
Vikings
Okay.
6.5.
Okay.
Okay.
I want you guys to know this is Will adapts because in the car he said he was going to take the Vikings.
Oh.
yeah?
I just took the Vikings.
You
Oh,
guys,
I think
No,
you
he
said
took the Vikings.
Yeah, I went Vikings 6.5.
Oh, I'm not listening.
but you
I
guys,
was thinking about my pick.
did you guys tell each other your
Listen,
picks?
I want to tell everyone at home, these guys have played a lot of football, taken a lot of hits. Active listening is not their strong suit. It's fine.
It's called tunnel
get
vision.
through it.
It's called tunnel vision. Focusing on what you have to focus on.
They have to focus so hard
Yeah.
on the next words that are going to come out of their mouth that they can't hear what other people are saying.
No, what happened with you, Taylor,
say?
just now was that
Did you say-
you had the point in your head. No matter what he said, you were going to say exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Like you did
Right.
not give a shit what he had to
Here's
say.
run the play script.
here's
They're running
how
a
it
play
went
script.
down.
Like he
Here's how it went
was
down.
like, all right, I have
They're
this
just
sentence
running.
in my head.
I literally, okay, so
Elon
no.
slipped some
I
picks
sat here
yesterday.
and I
I
was
took the
staring at
Vikings.
49ers, and I was like, oh, I'm obviously going to take the 49ers. I
Right.
can't believe Will's going to take the Vikings. And then when Will said Vikings, my brain said 49ers. Yeah.
Yes.
See, this
He
is-
was the
this is how
Charlie
I get
Brown,
it
like
down.
wah,
And then I went to
wah,
give him a
wah.
qu- yeah, I went to give him
you
a
had your
compliment.
point and you were going to make it.
Yeah.
So who are you taking?
I'm going to take the Vikings. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to take the 49ers.
Okay,
Yeah.
the
I'm gonna take
49ers.
The 49ers 6.5. I do believe one of those 3 are going to play, and it's going to be enough. And if they don't play, they have to do a better job of feeding George Kittle. He can't have 1 reception for 1 yard.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers as well, and it has nothing to do with the 49ers offense. I watched, obviously, the Vikings play the Bears, a bad Bears defense. Without Justin Jefferson, they struggled. Like, they are missing, it's not really a hot take, the best wide receiver in the league. Like, it changes how you can play as an offense, and you saw that against a bad Bears defense. Now you're playing a good 49ers defense. I think the Vikings are going to be in a lot of trouble.
Who you like, Jerry?
He loves Kirk Cousins. Loves him.
Home,
I did, yeah.
getting those points.
Big Kirk guy, huh?
They want you to think like, oh no, Justin Jefferson, the team's gonna get waxed. Nah, I think it'll be a tight game.
Okay. Let's move on to 3 bad opinions. Dan, what is a bad opinion to start week 7?
I forgot a bad opinion, but I'm going to come up with them right now. You ready for this?
I'm ready for it.
I'm coming up with a bad opinion. This is how good I can do it right on the fly. Let me look at all the games real quick. Ooh. Okay, bad opinion.
Found one.
Yeah, I did. I found one. Going back to the Raiders-Bears game, I think Aiden O'Connell could be a starting quarterback in the NFL. He's starting, I think, on Sunday. I liked what I saw from him.
You're not
Against
falling
the
for
Chargers.
the backup that you just gave a.
No, because that was like his first, real time out there against the Chargers. Played pretty well. I think he played well against the Bears. I think Aiden O'Connell might be like a middle of the road starter.
Bad opinion? Good opinion?
Bad opinion.
How many starts? Just that one start?
I think that was his only start.
And that definitely plays into what you said about Josh Dobbs, where the best case scenario is playing
But
one,
Josh
2
Dobbs has
games
been
and getting out
around
of
for a
there.
long time. Aiden O'Connell, it's still very new. Like, hey, what do we got? I don't know. Purdue. Aiden O'Connell. It's a bad opinion.
It's a bad
But
opinion.
you
What
could
do you
talk
want me to
yourself
say?
into being a good
It's a bad
opinion.
Yeah, so you understood the assignment.
Right.
Okay.
I'll
Will?
go with
You understood the assignment.
whichever quarterback plays. If Tyrod Taylor plays, they beat Washington. The question comes up: do we go with Tyrod Taylor, even though they just paid Daniel Jones a boatload of money, or if Daniel Jones plays so poorly, they think about throwing in Tyrod Taylor during the game?
Okay, that is a bad opinion because you have to play Daniel Jones because you're paying him like all the money.
Assignment. Check.
Check.
Taylor?
Well, I've come up with a bad opinion.
You do.
3 bad opinions.
Well, you've come up with a lot, so you could recycle one.
Actually, couldn't I?
Just throw out an opinion and Dan will decide how bad it is.
Yeah.
That's basically where you're at.
It's basically a hot take that's probably not true,
I
but
believe
it's fun to say.
after this bye week, the Titans right their wrongs, and they are making a push in December to make the playoffs.
See, that's the big cat move in early in the year. I was
You
like,
corrected me.
I was like,
I was
BC,
wrong.
can we go week to week just so
Yeah.
we know if the bad opinion was relevant this year.
But that was a bad opinion.
Derrick Henry gets traded.
Oh,
Derrick Henry gets traded. Is that
that might be a good opinion.
Do you want him to get traded?
I think he might get traded. I think Jonathan Taylor also might get traded.
Derrick Henry and Kevin Byard get traded before the deadline.
It would be smart for the Titans to
Those are
reset.
good bad
I
opinions
think
by
Yes.
Henry
you.
will go to the Ravens.
Oh yeah, I have no clue where he'll go.
What do you think, Jonathan Taylor on the Ravens?
They need a running back, the Ravens. If they get a running
The
back.
issue with Derrick Henry getting traded is like, what offense is he fitting in?
Right.
There's a role. There's definitely a.
Derrick's not a. You don't. It's shown. Stats guys. You give him the ball more than 20 times a game. That's when you see W's. That's when you see big yards. You look at all the Titans'
That's a fair
losses,
point.
all 4 losses. He's had like in the teens attempts. All the W's, the 2 W's, are over 20.
Okay.
But
Chiefs.
good job helping him out with his
Yeah,
bad
no, those
opinion.
Yeah, that was big because I actually didn't know I had to do that. I think week 1
Dan did all of them.
he did all,
yes.
did all of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
yes.
was truly even trying to think of one on my own when Dan was like trying to roll through it. I was like, man, this would be good if I could just help out right here. But I was like, my brain ain't working.
That's a good partnership, good bromance. You just finished his bad opinions for him. Okay, guys, the Survivor pool is over.
Yeah.
We're back. That's what that means.
It's over. The guest chair won. It is officially over. Now we're going to start another one, obviously, because we're only in October. But the guest chair won. So congratulations.
Thank you.
to Taylor.
Do I get anything to
You
like
do not.
receive? I don't get any like a treat or like a present.
But I think we should play for something now. I think we should play for $1,000 each, buy-in. And
Cannot
it will-
rebuy in.
No. And the guest chair will just see if the guest chair, like if Taylor loses, whoever's in the guest chair next week has to give us $1,000.
That's very funny.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. But that also means that when you come back, if the guy before you loses, you have to give us $1,000.
Who's the guest next week, and I'll decide what kind of team I want to
How
take.
long?
Oh, see that?
Kyle
makes
Long?
Kyle Long.
I do like Kyle. I will do my best to help him. I am into that.
Or you go guest chair is $500 every week, no matter what.
Oh, we're just going to just rob them every week? I don't hate that. They have to pay us to come on the show.
So whoever the guest chair is just has to pay for the person that loses the week before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Jerry, you're in for $1,000?
I'm out.
You won. What do you mean? It's new. It's reset.
Jerry,
New
come
team.
on, you're in for $1,000.
All right, I'm
You
in.
can do
No.
$1,000.
All right.
And Jerry, other than week 1, obviously you survived other than week 1. Okay, so here's the next question. Are all the teams back on the table?
Yes, all the teams
Okay.
are back on the table.
So all the teams are back on the table. The boys all are $1,000 in for the new wave of Survivor Pool. So Dan, do you want to go first?
I will go first.
Okay.
We can't use the same pick.
Can't use the same pick. No, you can use the same pick as me. You just can't use the same
Okay,
pick
okay.
twice. I'll go with the Seahawks.
Okay. Will,
Bills.
Taylor.
Well, I have written down here Survivor Pool Rams, but because we're for the boys,
Yes.
I'm gonna have to change that. I'm gonna go 49ers.
Jerry.
That hurt,
Look how
Jay. Huh?
he's-
You were
look
gonna
how
take the
he's
Niners
sitting.
right there, weren't you? Take the Steelers.
Look at how he's sitting right now. This is.
Tear your ACL, Jerry.
I'm going to take a dog. I'm going to take a dog.
No, I mean,
Jerry,
You're gonna take a dog?
Jerry,
Jerry, look at me right now. I'm not paying for your buy-in.
I know.
Okay.
Then why would you take a dog if you don't
He's
even?
gonna do. He's gonna take a crazy pick and he's like, "Can I get the $1,000?"
Because I don't want to use a good team. I'm looking ahead. I'm going to take the Broncos.
No. Oh my.
Jerry, don't do that. Jerry, don't do that.
You're saying you don't want to use a good team looking ahead. Like, weeks have already gone by. 6 weeks have gone by.
Taking the Broncos.
No,
Jerry.
So
They're gonna win that game at home.
Listen, the 6 worst teams you don't have to use. You know what I'm saying? Because the 6 weeks have already happened. And Broncos are one
Jerry,
of those
you
six.
picked the Broncos in week 1 and got eliminated. Don't do it again.
That's true. That's a good point, Casey. That's a good point.
Tom told me I
But then
can't
if I
take the
don't take the
credit.
Broncos, I'm going to take another dog.
Yeah, but don't do it again. Don't make the
You're
same
gonna take a
mistake
dog.
twice.
Take the line.
Does he
What's
do
your
this all
other
the time?
dog? Yeah. What's your other dog?
My other dog would have been the Giants.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna do a one-time rule for Jerry. He gets both those teams this week because it's
Broncos
crazy.
and Giants?
You just gotta have one of them win.
Okay.
But if
I'm down
both
with
of them lose, then he owes you guys
And he owes
$1,000.
$1,000. Yeah. If both of them lose. Yeah, that's fair.
Because those are my two.
You get two very bad picks right now. Okay.
I just want to know your mindset. It's you didn't
he
want
doing
to
that?
do $1,000, but then you take 2 really bad
brain is-
picks.
Well, because his Bills would be eliminated, Seahawks would be eliminated. Like they can't use it. I still would be able to use it. later
You're
on.
thinking ahead, but you also got.
Yeah, but you're
Right,
using,
but-
you're
This is
using
like
like
when
2
we
of the
talked about
worst
before the
6
show that
teams.
we
You don't
can't
even
talk about
have
the
to
thing you
use
did.
them.
Yeah.
I know, but look at the board this week. This board is hard.
Yeah.
NFL football Sunday.
You go Browns.
No,
He
because
gets
Go
2.
Colts.
He's going Giants and
Okay,
Broncos.
that's fine.
Okay.
Giants and Broncos. I'm giving you 2 picks this one time.
yeah.
If he
One
gets,
time.
but you're
if
not
he goes
going
0-2, he's out.
Are you going to pay his buy-in if he?
No, I'm not.
What
I'm
about
not paying
Chiefs?
this
What
buy-in.
about Chiefs?
Okay.
Chiefs play who?
Chargers.
Nah, I wouldn't take a division game like that. Like,
He wants to keep the Chiefs.
That's fine.
Okay.
Taking the Giants.
And the Broncos.
Jerry's
gonna win
mind
one of
is, it's very hard to understand what
lose
he's
both.
doing.
I didn't like that.
Yeah.
That makes me feel more uncomfortable with the Rams Steelers and sticking with you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Because when you see the way his brain's working, then we literally win
He's
with
like
him.
a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
When the longer he stays out here, you're like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Why is this
What?
guy?
Huh?
Yeah.
Anything else, guys?
I want it on record that I'm actually really confident in the Broncos.
Okay.
But you were in week 1 too, Jerry.
Yeah, but that was week 1. They're a
I
different
want it
team
on
now.
record.
I want it on record.
Okay, so we're going to try that again with Jerry for the Broncos. All right. Dan, how do you feel like Taylor did in?
Great.
Yeah?
Great chemistry, great show.
Yeah, he's great.
A lot of fun.
That
There
was
you
nice.
go.
That was very nice of you to
It's
say.
facts.
Very nice.
It's facts. I'd tell you if you sucked.
What's that?
I'd tell you if you sucked.
I heard you the
didn't.
first time. Stop repeating yourself.
You did. I would tell you if you sucked.
He had to prove that point too. Listening. Taylor is
Waited the
listening
whole show
down
just
there.
to do that dumb joke.
got
Literally
it.
waited the
There you
whole
go.
show to do that dumb joke.
All right.
Hey, listen. It's
And
how
it
you
was while he
finish.
was complimenting you.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
That's how you finish.
That is. So on that note, we're going to end the show. Enjoy your NFL Week 7. We'll be back next week.